In today's video, we're going to run through a proven objection/question handling framework that you and your sales reps can use when trying to sell heat pumps and solar to customers. This is the exact same framework that we teach our telesales team when booking appointments, and it applies to pretty much any objection or question that you can get. So we'll run through each part of the framework in this video, explain why it works, and hopefully it will give you a bit more confidence going into your sales appointments with customers. Because I think where a lot of installers struggle is obviously they're selling a very high ticket item, it's 5, 10, 15 grand, depending on obviously the property and if it's heat pump or solar or potentially even both. So hopefully this video gives you a bit more confidence and your reps a bit more of a framework going into those properties. And when you do get objections or questions, rather than you handling them wrong or not even handling them at all, you can use this framework and get more out of the leads that you're purchasing. So just for a bit of context before we jump into this framework I'm about to run through is a very small part of a installer sale training that we provide to all of our clients. So this video in particular is on objection handling theory. There's a bunch more stuff that we also run through, and also there's much more videos with specific objection handling grips for most common objections, and also some other bits, how to do discovery, how to quote people, follow up. We've worked with our top performing installers to put stuff like this together. So if you are interested in the full sales training, obviously there'll be a link in the description, and inquire about our services, not just for lead generation, but for all the other bits like this we do provide as well. Jumping into it, this framework, you can see at a high level, which I'll run through now at the top, then I'll break down what each stage actually means. The stuff in the white boxes with the dotted outline is optional, so you won't have to do this every single time you get an objection or a question. The stuff in like the light blue boxes is the framework you must always follow. First thing is clarifying questions. So if someone gives you a question or objection, you must fully understand exactly what they're actually asking. For example, if a customer says, I think it's too expensive, or this is too expensive, expensive can mean a lot of different things. It might be concerned about the upfront cost. It might be whether they're going to get an ROI on it. It might be they're considering this versus another purchase for their home. You actually really need to understand what do they mean by expensive. So that's where you would use a clarifying question, because as I'll get onto in a second, you need to be very targeted in your response to these objections. Second one, statement to diffuse. So what you don't want to do is jump straight into handling the question and come across too salesy. All that does is increase the customer's sales resistance and make them much more likely to shut down. An example of a statement to diffuse would be like, completely understand why you're asking that, or that's a great question. Just show the customer they're allowed to have objections and questions about the process. Next one is demonstrating empathy. So showing you're on their side, you want the best outcome for them. So I'll go through some examples of that in a second. Fourth one is a concise response. So what you don't want to do is over-explain, oversell, or overdo it and not be very targeted towards the actual objection or question. So that's really makes it really important to ask the clarifying questions that we ran through at the start, because if you don't understand what they're actually asking and what their main objection actually is, you can't deliver a concise response. So what you don't want to do is then go on a 2 to 5 minute dialogue about all the different things that make solar systems amazing. You want to be very concise and handle the precise thing that they've actually brought up in that scenario. Next part of that is a confidence loop. So what that means is you want to add a little phrase into the end of your response, just reinforcing that they have nothing to worry about. It's definitely going to work. It's going to be a good investment, whatever it might be. And last main thing is a pulse check. So what you want to do is just check in with the customer. Does that make sense? Does that clear that up for you? Questions like that. And then the final thing is, if they say yes, but you're not fully convinced you've actually handled the objection, you want to challenge them, obviously not in a confrontational way, but I'll get onto some ways you can challenge customers to see if they actually have been handled the objection. Last sort of main point is, as part of the framework, when you're delivering the response and the confidence loop, is to show the customer if possible and not just say it. So I'll get onto what that means in a second, but it makes it a lot more convincing and real for the customer if you can actually give them numbers, graphs, data of exactly why their objection is wrong or they've got misinformation, whatever it might be. But jumping into each point in more detail. So clarifying questions is pretty straightforward. If you're not 100% sure exactly what the objection is or what the question is and where it's coming from, it is imperative that you ask clarifying questions, whether that's 1 or 5, just to really understand what their objection and question is, because it's going to mean your response is going to be 10 times better. As I mentioned earlier, like if they say it's too expensive, that can mean several different things. You need to understand what exactly is expensive to them, and then your response is going to be 10 times better. For example, if they say it's expensive because they don't have the upfront cash, your response about finance options is going to hit a lot more if you start blabbering on about the ROI when they just literally can't afford it. So clarifying questions is really important. Make sure you understand exactly what the customer is asking or saying. Next part of it, statement to diffuse. So an example of this is when a prospect says, I need to think about it, responding with not a problem, or of course, or that's not an issue at all. So just diffuse their objection and make sure they kind of feel safe, they feel like they can ask things, and it's an open, honest conversation. Because if you skip this and go straight into handling it or saying, what do you need to think about, that sort of thing, it comes across very salesy and it kind of increases that sales resistance from the customer side. Next part, which is touched upon, demonstrating empathy, links quite nicely to diffusing. So an example of this is, to be honest, John, I completely understand. I've had my own fair share of hiring the wrong company to do things in the past. I totally get where you're coming from. It's really important that when we are handling handling objections is not coming from the salesy side, because they can smell it if one of your reps is trying to get commission or if you're just trying to get a sale. It needs to come from a consultative side where you're actually looking out for the customer's best interests. A great way to demonstrate that is just by showing empathy. That increases the trust the prospect has in you, and it just means that when you do go on to handle that objection after this, it's going to resonate a lot more with the customer and hit a lot better than if you just jump straight into the objection. Third one is delivering a concise response. So your goal should be to get across and handle the objection in as few words as possible and only really hitting the actual main points they need to know. As I touched upon earlier, it's better to show the prospect rather than just tell them. For example, they're concerned about whether it's going to be a worthwhile investment because they're not sure what the payback or the ROI is going to be. If you can put together some sort of graph or presentation breaking down exactly how much their energy bills are going to drop, what their payback's going to be like, how much savings they're going to make after the payback's done, all that sort of stuff, and really get the customer to visualize it, that's going to hit a lot more than you just telling the customer it's going to save them money, it's going to be a good investment. Just make sure that you understand obviously what the objection is coming from, and you can then deliver a response which is super targeted towards their exact problem. Make sure that where possible you show and demonstrate your answer as well as just telling them, because obviously you're going to tell them it's great, it's your company, the thing you're selling. Next stage of it is a confidence loop. So this is something that we touch upon kind of earlier on in the sales training that obviously we've not gone through this video. But you should see objections and questions as a chance to raise the customer's conviction level. Don't see it as something to be avoided or something that if a customer has an objection, you can't deal with it. An objection, if handled correctly, is just going to raise their trust in you as an expert and raise their conviction that this is the right decision to move forward with it. Confidence loops, they're not going to be all and end all of someone going ahead. But if, for example, you say something like, say if it's a heat pump and they're concerned that it isn't going to work in cold weather because it's really cold at their house, and then you say this specific brand works terrific in cold weather, for example, XYZ, so that's definitely not going to be a problem. We've got 100 customers who have this heat pump, they all do great throughout the winter. It's a valid concern, but one that won't be a problem going forwards. So you have that certain statement at the end of your response, just telling the customer it's not going to be an issue. You have nothing to worry about, and you're 100% convinced that going ahead is the right thing. Because I think sometimes with a lot of people, when they're spending that 5, 10, 15,000, they just want to be told in kind of complete certainty that it's a good decision. Having that confidence loop at the end of your response is only going to raise that conviction level and make them feel a little bit more secure in the decision moving forward. Second to last thing is then a pulse check. This is quite simple. You just want to check in with the customer and see where they're at in terms of buying, if you've handled the objection, if they've still got concerns. So anything along the lines of, does that give you more confidence or does that clear things up? Anything like that will just give you immediate feedback on where the customer is and whether you actually handled that objection correctly or not. What you need to listen to here is not just what they say, because some people might just say yes because they feel uncomfortable confronting you or disagreeing with what you said, but you also need to listen to the tone of how they say it. Someone saying, yeah, that's fine, versus someone saying, yeah, that definitely clears it up, is two completely different answers. You need to look out for not just what they say, but how they say it, and just get some immediate feedback on how the customer's feeling about what you put forward to them, your company, etc. If you do get a response that is more along the lines of, yeah, that sort of clears it up, they don't sound 100% convinced, what you don't want to do is challenge the customer. Obviously, what you don't want to do is have lingering objections or the customer mess you around. And if their tonality is just not matching what they're saying, it's important that you call them out on it and actually try and help them make the correct decision. So if they do get that sort of response of, oh yeah, looks good or looks okay, or yeah, that sort of clears it up, something like, are you sure? I'm more than happy to go into this in more detail if you like, or you might be wrong here, but I didn't sound too sure. Is there anything that you want me to explain at all whilst I'm here? So you want to challenge them and kind of open it up to them to give you another objection or say that you've not handled the existing objection. Otherwise, if they do give that unconvincing yes, then it's a sign you've not handled it and that your response here wasn't good enough and you need to go back and redeliver a new response that's going to handle that objection. But that's the framework. So obviously, I would just recommend having specific scripts for common objections about price or need to think about it, that sort of thing. But if you do get different objections or different questions or your reps aren't trained on scripts, then at least having this framework is going to give them something to follow, and it can be used on pretty much any sort of question or objection the customer puts forward to you. So just to recap, the stuff in white, not always necessary, but the one that's particularly important if needed is clarifying questions. The 4 core ones are firstly demonstrating empathy so that you don't increase sales resistance. Next is just making sure your response is as concise and targeted as possible. Finish that up with a confidence loop, and then finally check in with the customer, make sure that they are happy with your answer and happy that you've answered their objection, and obviously where possible try and show them why their objection is wrong rather than just telling them. As I mentioned, this is kind of part of a wider sales training that we provide all installers, as well as the sales training core offer that we have is we provide ready to quote appointments for heat pump and solar installers. So if you do more leads and sales, there will be a link on the bottom of this video. You can click on that, find out a bit more information, and if it looks like a fit, you can go ahead and make an inquiry with us.